Mr. Werfel. Welcome. We're delighted you're here. And I'm so pleased your country music-loving wife is with you today. Being a Tennessean, we discussed this yesterday and have to get you to Nashville. I want to go back to the question that Senator Barrasso was asking you about on the service industry tax compliance. And I've heard a lot about this in Tennessee. People in the service industry, hairdressers, wait staff, delivery personnel, gig economy workers, and they are incensed by this. Many of them are women, and they're sole providers for their family. And you have said to Chairman Wyden and to Senator Crapo that you're not going after people under $400,000. So let me ask you this and put it to you this way. How many waiters, waitresses, hairdressers, barbers, gig economy workers do you know that are making more than $400,000 a year, and why would they be targeted by this administration?
Senator, thank you for the question. I think if the IRS is successful going forward...
How many do you know?
Well, if the IRS is successful going forward, then the individuals and the occupations that you mentioned will see only impacts in service improvements, in particular with the Inflation Reduction Act funds, versus an increase in any audit rates. That's the goal.
This is the contradiction.
Please.
You can say you're not going to go after anybody that is making less than $400,000. I don't know anyone in this category that would be affected by the service industry tip compliance program that is making more than $400,000 per year. So what you have done is to segment them out and say, we're carving you out so we can tax you more. And this is why there is such a contradiction in what this administration says and what it actually does. Let me return to a couple of questions that we discussed yesterday. Commissioner Reddick said, this is at a Finance Committee hearing last year, 53% of the IRS employees are in a full-time telework capacity. But as we discussed yesterday, this is concerning, considering that the IRS only picks up the phone about 20% of the time. And getting people back to work is going to be an imperative, getting them back to full-time work. So do you commit to exhausting funding for customer service staff before hiring new agents to go out and pick on people in the service industry?
Senator, I appreciate the question. I can't commit until I'm at the IRS and understand exactly where they are with their plans.
Okay. Let's talk about protecting data, because this is something the IRS has had kind of a checkered past when it comes to protecting consumer data. In 2015, over 700,000 Social Security numbers may have been stolen. 2017, the IRS notified Congress of over 100,000 federal student loan accounts that were accessed in a data breach. ProPublica in 2021, I think it's safe to say that there is a data security issue at the IRS. And so what I would like for you to do, if you are confirmed, is give us a plan and a timeline for implementing that plan for keeping citizens' data, taxpayer data, safe. Would you do that for us?
Yes, Senator. In fact, when I think about the data security issue and I think about the discussion that we're having on the Inflation Reduction Act today, the increased resources that the IRS is receiving under the Inflation Reduction Act, there's part of those funds that can be used to shore up data security, whether that's through technology, training, et cetera. So when the plans come together for the Inflation Reduction Act, they should reflect the very question you're asking, which is, what are the steps we're doing to be on a continuous improvement journey to improve data security?
That is helpful, and we would hope that part of that plan is more customer service agents and less field agents that are going to go audit people who do make under $400,000 a year. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.